Hi everyone, this is Chris Mutuma from eTeach Programming, and in this video we are going to look at JavaScript conditional statements. Without further ado, let's dive in. So guys, as you can see, I have here on my browser the JavaScript conditional statements that we are going to look at. That is if, else, else if, and switch. I want to mention that on this short video, we are not going to look at switch statement, which I will create a different video on switch statement. So we are going to look at if, else, and else if. So on my main.js file, we are going to look at the first conditional statement, which is if statement. All right, so this is the first one that we're going to look at, if statement. Okay, this needs to be in lowercase, if statement. So guys, what is this if statement? So we use the if statement to specify a block of JavaScript code, all right, to be executed if a condition is true. So when you're using if statement alone, the condition must be true, all right, so that we can execute a block of code if that condition is true. Else, if the condition is false, then your if statement will not give you feedback or results as you intended. So let's look at how if statements are written. So you use the if, and I want to clarify here, or rather to stress that JavaScript is case sensitive. So if I'm going to show you here, let me first of all create this, and then down here, if I did this and did that, you can see JavaScript itself is reverting my if to lowercase. So if at some point that you're writing your if statement and you find that you're writing it in uppercase, note that that is not the correct syntax of an if statement. Okay, so I rushed here, but I'm going to explain. So it is if, then we have our brackets, all right? And then now inside these brackets, this is where now you write your condition, all right? And then inside the braces, this is where you execute the block of code to be executed, all right? Block of code to be executed. The block of code to be executed. So basically, this is an if statement syntax. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this so as to make sure that we are not getting do condition. All right, so because this one already is it has become a comment, so I'm going to just comment it out. And now below here, now we are going to see if statement in action. So I'm going to define or declare two variables here and assign them values in number format, or other numbers. All right, so we have const a, which is our variable a, and we are assigning it a value 20, and const b, which we are assigning a value of 10. Now we write our if statement. Then in our condition, we are going to test if a is greater than b. A is greater than b, and inside our conditional block, or rather the code block, we are going to do console.log, and now we output the message that we want to output on our console. So we can say a is indeed greater than b, And if we save that, on our console, we are going to get that A is indeed greater than B, this code block here, because A is greater than B. What if I change this value and put 10 there and 20 there? You're going to realize that we are not going to get any result because it is not true. This is not true. A is not greater than B. But earlier when it was 20 and B was 10, A the condition was true, and that's the reason why this code block is being executed. So we have looked at two scenarios here, when the condition is true and when the condition is false. Now that's where now the second statement comes in, which is the else statement. So the else statement goes hand in hand with the if statement in this manner. If this condition is false, this code block will not be executed. So we need to have another code block that will execute once the first condition is false. So here is the syntax, again the normal if. Then in here we are going to use a false condition. B is equal to A. And note here I'm using double equals signs. And now the condition here, B is not equal to 10, as we can see here. Or rather, B is not equals to A, where you can see that A is 20 and B is 10. So the condition that we want to do here, I'm just going to copy this to save time. And guys, or good practice to terminate your statements as much as JavaScript allows you. Let me just close this to create space. As much as JavaScript allows you to run your code while you've not terminated, it's again good practice to terminate. All right. So if B is equal to A, then we are going to say B is equal to A. All right. Let us save that. You will not get any feedback on our console. You're not getting that because this is the first one here. Now we need to include an else statement. Now let's look at a scenario whereby a user, was clicking on something, or rather we have this kind of a condition, and a user clicks on a button that needs to give this kind of information, but they are getting nothing. So we need to give them another response that tells them that B is not equal to A. All right, so this is the simplest example, guys. So we are going to say B is not equal to A. Or maybe you can say B is equals to 20 and A is equals to 10. Or rather, A is equals to 20 and B is equals to 10. Something of the sort. And when we save that, you can see now the first condition is false. Since the condition is false, this code block will not be executed. But we come to the second code block after the else statement that will be executed because this condition is false. I hope that is clear on that one. So the next thing we are going to look at is the third statement, which is the else if. So the else if creates another condition. The else if allows you to create another condition. Apart from the main condition, that is the if, then we add an else if, and that else if carries its own condition as well. All right, so we are number 3 here, and the 3 here, which is the else if. So the same process if. All right, now here let's maybe look at some other ways of looking at this. So you can say A is uh, less than or equal to B. All right, and then now we want to console log that A is less than or equal less than or equal to B. Then we come and do else space if, and now inside this condition now you specify a second condition that A is greater than or equal to B. And then again you do your condition and say A is greater or greater than or equal to B. And if these two conditions are false, then we must have a fallback condition that will go to another fallback code block that will tell the user that neither the first condition nor the second condition are true. And here you console log and say maybe say here condition A condition 1 and condition 1 nor condition 2 nor condition 2 are true. Okay, then if we save here now guys, before we save here, we need to look at our condition. Is A less than or equal to B? No, A is 20, so it's not less than or equal to B. Is A greater than or equal to B? Yes, A is 20 and B is 10. So A is greater than or. That's why we are using the or. Okay, so if we save that, you can see it says A is greater than or equal to B. But what if we used A equals to B and save that? Then we'll get our else condition, or rather our else code block will be executed, telling us or notifying us that neither condition 1 nor condition 2 are true. All right, so that is simply the JavaScript conditional statement if else if else. All right, and note you can have as many as you can. You can have as many as you can else ifs on your code. All right, you can have as many else if on your code, and that will not affect your code. All right, so you can nest a lot of else ifs and a lot of else ifs. So guys, I just thought that I should do these first 3 conditional statements separately from the switch statement, because the switch statement is a bit complex, I might say. It needs more attention to be able to understand the switch statement. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one.